if you elevate your viewpoint to some transcendent ethic, you want what's ultimately good, you really want that, whatever that is, you don't know, but that's what you're aiming at. Says that, well then it says this strange thing that, well what you want will all of a sudden come to you. Well that's a proposition, and it's the proposition that's basically played out in the movie. It's a hypothesis. The hypothesis is the best way to orient yourself in life is to orient yourself towards the highest good that you're capable of imagining, and then aim at that, and then things will work out the best way they can for you. And I believe that's correct. My observation of life has led me to see that that seems to be correct. So for example, you don't get something you don't aim at. That just doesn't work out, and so lots of people aim at nothing and that's what they get. So if you aim at something, you have a reasonable crack at getting it. You tend to change what you're aiming at a bit along the way, because like what do you know, you aim there, you're wrong, but you get a little closer and then you aim there and you're still wrong, you get a little closer and you aim there, and as you move towards what you're aiming at, your characterization of what to aim at becomes more and more sophisticated. And so it doesn't really matter if you're wrong to begin with, as long as you're smart enough to learn on the way, and as long as you specify a goal. So specify a vague one. I want things to be the best they could be, and I'm willing to learn what best means as I go along. Okay, so fine. And then you get what you truly need, we'll say. Well, maybe not. No, if your heart is in your dream, what does that mean? Well, that to me reflects this idea of a kind of integrated viewpoint. One of the things Jung proposed was that as you integrate yourself psychologically, what happens is that your rationality integrates with your emotions. They stop being opposed forces. Like the Enlightenment idea is that rationality and desire are opposites and enemies in a sense. And the Jungian notion is, and the psychoanalytic notion I would say in general, and the humanist notion even perhaps, is that no, that's not right. What you want to do is you want to integrate your rationality with your emotions and your motivations. They're not separable, even technically. They have to work together, and that all has to be integrated with your body. Not only do you have to take your heart into account and notice what it is that you want and don't want, but you also have to embody that. You have to act that out in the world. So fine, so that's what that means. And if you do that, then your horizons open up. And I also believe that's true. I've known people in my life who are insanely successful, like insanely successful. And those people are, like they're pretty damn together, man. Like they're tough, smart, strategic, generous. They're always giving people opportunities, honest, like they've got it all. And sometimes, now I'm not saying that everyone who's wildly successful is wildly successful because they've got themselves together, but, because there are crooks and, there are people who gain status one way or another by nefarious means. But that's a lot more unstable than you might think. And I can't say exactly if you pursue that route, you're going to pay for it. Like, you'll have your money or whatever it is, but it's not going to do much good for you. So it does seem to me to be the people that have integrated themselves and that are pursuing a noble goal, a high goal, who actually are able to do remarkable things. And remarkable things can be done at every level. It isn't like you have to change the world. Like as a whole, it could be that you do something remarkable within your family. And that can be tremendously admirable. Someone's got to take care of a family member if they're sick. Like there's heroic acts that you can undertake in the local environment, and maybe that will go unheralded, let's say, but that doesn't mean that it isn't remarkable.
Did you know that only 8% of people achieve their New Year's resolutions? That means most of us fall short of the goals we set for ourselves. Why? It's not because we're incapable, but because we often aim too low or don't aim at all. Are you aiming high enough in life, or are you settling for less than your potential? Jordan Peterson's reflection on orienting oneself toward the highest good is a profound challenge to complacency. He suggests that even if your aim is imperfect at first, striving for something greater allows for growth, adaptation, and fulfillment. This concept taps into age-old philosophies and modern psychology, showing us how a lofty goal can bring structure and meaning to our lives. Many people avoid setting ambitious goals due to fear of failure, lack of clarity, or societal conditioning. Research in behavioral psychology shows that individuals who avoid aiming high often experience stagnation and regret later in life. The problem isn't a lack of talent or opportunity, it's a lack of direction. Without aiming at something, we drift aimlessly, never truly tapping into our potential. Peterson's perspective is rooted in psychological theories of growth and integration. Carl Jung proposed that aligning your rationality, emotions, and motivations leads to a more unified and effective self. Positive psychology echoes this, with Martin Seligman's research showing that setting meaningful goals can boost happiness and resilience. The key takeaway: you don't need to have a perfect plan. Start with a vague aspiration, like wanting to improve your life or relationships. As Peterson explains, your goals will become clearer as you progress and learn from your experiences.
Take Oprah Winfrey's story as an example.
Born into poverty and faced with immense challenges, she aimed high not just at personal success, but at empowering others. Her life embodies Peterson's principle of integrating purpose with action. Despite missteps and recalibrations, she remained focused on her highest good, achieving remarkable success and inspiring millions. Peterson's idea is both simple and transformative. Aim high, embrace imperfection, and adjust as you go. Success doesn't demand perfection, it demands persistence, adaptability, and an integrated self. Whether it's a personal goal, professional ambition, or a quiet act of heroism within your family, striving for the highest good brings meaning and fulfillment. What's your highest aim in life? Share your thoughts and aspirations in the comments below. Let's inspire each other to aim higher and achieve more. And don't stop here, watch our next video on overcoming fear and self-doubt to take the next step in your journey.